Ever since I posted my Sephora VIB sale recommendations video, you guys have been asking if I can do a similar kind of video for the drugstore. Because in that video, I shared my top recommendation in every single beauty category out of all of the products that I really love and recommend. And that's hard for me to do because you guys know there are a lot of products that I truly love and use for different reasons. I just really enjoy having a larger beauty collection, not only because it's a hobby for me, but also because I have different preferences on different days. I'm in the mood to use different things. It really just varies for me. But when it comes down to it, if I was only allowed to pick one product to use for the rest of time in every single beauty category from the drugstore, it would be these. Starting off with skincare, my number one favorite cleansing balm is currently the e.l.f. Skin Holy Hydration Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm. This contains sunflower oil, peptides, ceramides, and hyaluronic acid, and has a really nice, soft, lightweight kind of like cream/balm texture. It does a great job at removing all kinds of makeup for me, which is definitely really important because I typically don't use tubing mascaras. My favorite, which I'll talk about at the end of the video, is a non-tubing mascara, so I need something that's effective for makeup removal. The only thing I don't love about this is the way that it smells. It does have added fragrance, which I don't have a problem with when it comes to makeup removal, but I just don't love the smell of it. The good thing is that it's not super in your face. It is a more subtle fragrance, but there's like a lemon essence to it. And that always reminds me of cleaning products, which is just like not what I want to associate with my skincare. So I really wish they would change that. But otherwise, the product itself feels incredible and works incredible and is affordable. So you can't beat that. Let's move on to regular cleanser next. I did almost choose my Cetaphil Gentle Clear Cleanser for this because if you have watched my morning skincare routine, then you will know that is the cleanser I use every single morning and I absolutely love it. But it is a treatment exfoliating cleanser because it contains 2% salicylic acid, so I wanted to choose my favorite non-exfoliating cleanser for the purpose of this video. And that is hands down the La Roche-Posay Toleriane Dermo Milky Cleanser. The only noteworthy ingredient in this is La Roche-Posay's thermal spring water, but the texture of this is absolutely incredible. This was what I was using all the time before I discovered the Prequel Cleanser because it feels so soft, hydrating, smooth. It just has that perfect milky consistency that I love while not being too thick, not feeling heavy, not feeling greasy, but still being an effective enough cleanser to make me feel like I properly cleansed my skin and I didn't just like rub a milky lotion all over it. So while I haven't been using this as much as I used to, it still is my number one favorite from the drugstore. It just feels so soft and silky, and if you love a milky cleanser, you have to try this. None of the serums that I consistently use in my skincare routine are from the drugstore, and I don't switch up the serums that I use very often at all. That's a kind of product where it's very ingredient focused. I have a specific purpose for it. So when I find something that works for me, I'm going to keep using that until I find something better. But this product right here is something that I wanted to include as my current favorite serum from the drugstore because it definitely has a serum-like quality to it. It's a newer launch that I haven't been playing around with for a super long time, but ever since I got it, I have not been able to stop using it. It is the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Gel B5 Glycerin Skin Protectant. So this is their gel version of the beloved Cicaplast Balm. That is a product that I absolutely love, so I had high hopes for this and it does not disappoint. This contains 21% glycerin, so it's incredibly hydrating, 5% panthenol, madecassoside, hyaluronic acid, and La Roche-Posay's thermal spring water. And like I was just saying, I'm really picky about the serums that I choose to use because I like to get a lot of bang for my buck with them. I want to use a serum that has a lot of different beneficial skincare ingredients so I can get a lot of benefits from that one product. And that definitely checks that box with all of those incredible ingredients. While this definitely isn't as liquidy and runny as a traditional serum, for me, this kind of serves the purpose of a serum in my skincare routine because I don't use this in place of moisturizer, so it's something that I'll use before moisturizer like I do a serum. The texture of this is incredible. It's this really nice gel that feels very refreshing on the skin. It's lightweight, the dry down is great, it's not greasy. And for me, this has been the perfect addition to my skincare routine on top of the serums that I've already been using, and again, right before moisturizer. It calms my skin, it gives me amazing hydration, and I love that it's so easy to throw into my routine without feeling like things have to be disrupted or changed. Dang, I love ya. And this is also really nice around the eyes. That is a tip I got from Dr. Dre, so I would try that out too. My favorite facial mist will not come as a surprise to any of you. I have been talking about the Bioma Balancing Face Mist for a long time now because I love it and I love that it's affordable. This contains sorbitol, ceramides, a probiotic ferment, allantoin, panthenol, and oleic acid. So for me, this is something that I view as an additional hydration step. Plus like calming, soothing, protecting, replenishing, all of those delicious skin benefits too. You can obviously skip a facial mist. It's not something that is necessary to a routine. It's just something that I really enjoy and it feels so nice. The mist is really lightweight. It's like fine and sprays perfectly. It just really amplifies my skincare experience and makes me feel like I'm taking care of myself. My favorite moisturizer will also not come as a surprise. Even though it's been a minute since I've talked about this, the Vanicream Daily Facial Moisturizer is still my absolute favorite from the drugstore. This contains squalane, glycerin, hyaluronic acid, several different ceramides, and phytosterols. And this is just my perfect daytime moisturizer in terms of how it feels, how it applies, how it wears, how it looks, all of the above. Because it's a lightweight lotion that dries down really well without any sort of like extra dewy finish that is gonna make me look greasy as I continue to wear it throughout the day. It has just like a naturally glowy finish to it, but feels incredibly hydrating and is still moisturizing enough to make my skin feel nice all day long. I can also wear this at night in the summertime when I'm not interested in wearing a really thick cream like I do in the winter, and I wake up with my skin feeling great. It really is amazing. I know it's not the cutest packaging, but I don't care because it works so good. There isn't an eye cream from the drugstore that I'm currently obsessed with. I have definitely tested some over the past year or so that I think are really nice, but none that I was like, yeah, I'm so in love with it that it has to be in this video. If you guys have any recommendations of drugstore eye creams that you've been loving that you think I should try, let me know in the comments. But for now, I was like, if I don't love it that much, I don't want to include it in this video just for the sake of having something to show. Drugstore untinted sunscreens are tough. I feel like so many of them have issues. They're either too thick or too heavy or feel greasy or look shiny or leave a white cast. But my favorite drugstore sunscreen brand for untinted sunscreens is hands down La Roche-Posay. And this one is by far my personal favorite from them. It's the Anthelios AOX Daily Antioxidant Serum with Sunscreen. This is an SPF 50 with chemical filters including avobenzone, homosalate, octisalate, octocrylene, and oxybenzone. It contains vitamins C and E, candle tree leaf extract, and skullcap root. This has a lightweight gel cream texture that I find really nice to apply. It also feels hydrating and refreshing. I don't have any issues with it blending into my skin or drying down. I would say I get like a naturally glowy finish from this and I really enjoy it, but it's definitely very pricey, and that is the issue with me for untinted sunscreens from the drugstore because there aren't a lot that I love. The ones that I do love end up being pricey because they're from La Roche-Posay. So if you're looking for super affordable sunscreens that perform amazingly, definitely go for Asian sunscreens. I know that they're not as convenient as being able to run to the drugstore, but I think that they are the best, hands down, and they're way more affordable than this one. But like, this is a drugstore video, so I had to choose drugstore fave. My favorite tinted sunscreen from the drugstore is the Neutrogena Pure Screen Mineral UV Tint Face Liquid. This is an SPF 50 with mineral filters, including titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. It also has vitamin E, iron oxides, and is fragrance and essential oil free, which I forgot to say. All of these products are, with the exception of the e.l.f. cleansing balm. This has a very runny, liquidy texture that does have a little bit of an oily slip to it, but overall, it just feels moisturizing and doesn't feel greasy. I will say that this is not completely weightless on my skin, but I tend to have a harder time finding tinted sunscreens that I love that also feel weightless. And again, it's not like it's greasy or heavy, it's just not one that dries down to feel like nothing. So if that's something that you're looking for, you may not love this. But what I love about it is that number one, it comes in 4 different shades, which is currently impossible to find in other tinted sunscreens at the drugstore. So that I think, is reason alone to give this a number 1 spot. But I feel like the shades are formulated really intentionally where they lean more neutral and not too warm or too cool. This offers sheer coverage with a glowy finish, so it's something that can give you that additional color without looking like it's really makeup-y on the skin. It's a really nice product, and like I said when this first came out, I really hope that we start to see other drugstore brands step in a direction like this when it comes to a tinted sunscreen. Next up is makeup. My favorite primer is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. This actually actually is something that I just featured in my glowy primer showdown that I posted recently. I believe I tested 14 different glowy primers, so many different options, both drugstore and higher end. And if you would like to see how this placed amongst all of those, I will list that video in my description box below. I know a lot of people enjoy using this product by itself, but I personally only like using it as a makeup primer, and my favorite way to use it is actually mixed with whatever I'm using on my face for foundation. So whether that be a skin tint or something else, when I mix this in with foundation, I love the way that it looks. It gives me that kind of makeup look that I think is similar to something that you would have like after a full day at the beach. You know, when you're on vacation, you've spent a full day at the beach, then you put your makeup on and you have that like kind of slightly sunburned look. You look really glowy and tan and just like everything looks good. That's what I feel I get with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. The two shades that I have are 1 and 3, so fair and light medium, and I don't think either are a great fit for my skin tone. Light medium is obviously going to be for when I have self-tanner on, so it's deeper, but even still, I just feel like, I don't know, the shades are not my favorite, the undertones are not my favorite either, but if you can find something that is a good color match for you or still ends up giving you a nice shade when you mix it with a complexion product, then I think it's a really beautiful product. Speaking of complexion, my current favorite complexion product is the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Skin Tint. I did not think anything would replace my L'Oreal Tinted Serum. That was my holy grail forever, and I still think it's so beautiful, but ever since this launched, I have just found myself reaching for it more because it gives me a little bit of a glowier finish, and I just think it looks a little more special on my skin. I do have a side-by-side comparison wear test showdown between the Maybelline Skin Tint and L'Oreal, so if you're torn between the two, I'll list that video below, but right now, it's been Maybelline for me. I just love the way this looks. There are a few makeup categories that I really struggle with at the drugstore where I just feel like I can't really find anything that I'm obsessed with, and I feel like that's the case with concealer, but I like this product enough to include it in the video. I think it's really nice. It's just like I don't know. Honestly, I kind of feel like it's the packaging. If I'm being totally honest, if I'm thinking about why I don't want to reach for this as much, I feel like it's that. It's the Maybelline Superstay Activewear Concealer, and this is a really interesting formula. It's very different from any of my other concealers, which is probably also why I feel like I just like hesitate to reach for it more because it's just not a formula that I'm as used to using, but it performs really well. So I really do need to wear this more. It's what I'm wearing today. I think it looks great. It's super, super thin and almost a little bit watery, but not as watery as the Physicians Formula Concealer. I reviewed that last year. That one is literally like water. This is not quite like that, but it is by far the thinnest concealer that I own. And it's just different, but like it looks so nice under my eyes. I feel like I sound like such an idiot explaining this. The coverage kind of teeters between medium and full. I don't get full coverage with this. I would say it's more like medium/full, but that is my favorite level of coverage with concealer. So that works great for me. This wears really well for me. Overall, I feel like I always really love the way that my makeup looks when this is the concealer that I have on with it. So it's something that I need to reach for more. Again, there's just like something preventing me. But when I think about all the concealers I've tried from the drugstore, this is definitely the winner. My favorite setting powder has not changed. It is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder, and this is a top favorite for me at any price point. It sets my makeup beautifully. It's not too flat and matte looking, but it like sets everything and minimizes shine in the way that I need, and it gives me a really beautiful, soft, diffused glow without looking like it's highlighty. My favorite cream bronzer is newer to my collection. It's the Milani Cheek Kiss Cream Bronzer, and I think this is so good. This blends so easily. It's something that I can wear underneath or on top of powder, or both, which is what I did in my application footage. I think everything about this is so easy to use. I really like that this is creamy enough to be blendable, but then kind of dries down a bit to have more of that like slightly cream to powder element. So it's not something that looks really greasy and shiny on my cheeks, and that's definitely a problem I can have with cream bronzers. And this is one of the longest wearing cream bronzers I have ever tried. I feel like most cream products just don't sit the best on my face by themselves, but this, it wears all day long for me. I do use a little bit of like a translucent powder on top, like the e.l.f. Halo Glow, but I don't feel the need to go over this with the powder bronzer when I'm wearing it. And I feel like that's the biggest reason why I tend to not reach for creams as much as powders, because I feel like I end up having to set them with a powder version anyway, and then I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm just adding more product when I don't need to. But with this, I don't have to. My favorite bronzer is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Bronzer. This is so, so good. It has a really nice, soft, non-drying feel. It applies so well. It has great pigment without it being too intense, so it's buildable, but you can also sheer it out. It has a soft matte finish. It wears really well. It's just great. The shade that I have on right now that works perfectly for me with self-tan is light, but I will say that the fair shade that they have just is not right for me when I don't have a tan on. So I feel like that's why I stopped using this, because I just wasn't loving it in the winter anymore. I don't know, something about it, I think it was just like a little bit too dark. I feel like that's a big problem that I tend to have with bronzers, that they just don't have a shade that's light enough and not orange enough, but also not muddy enough for my skin tone. Pale girls struggle with bronzer, we do, but with a tan, I can't beat this. I can't. My favorite cream blush is the e.l.f. Putty Blush. I specifically love the Luminous Putty Blush, and I have 3 different shades of those, but I do have one that is not technically luminous, and the shade's gorgeous. So I'm gonna show you swatches of all of them. The reason why I originally fell in love with this blush is because it was the first cream blush that I had tried that was not super wet and creamy and extra dewy looking on my cheeks. While it has a creamy feel in the pot, it's another that has a bit more of a powdery dry down. And this is also something that I can wear both underneath and on top of powder. Okay, so these 3 are the luminous blushes. Maui is my personal favorite, but I also have Bermuda and St. Bart's. And the non-luminous formula is in the shade Caribbean, which is such a gorgeous red. I am really into a little bit of sheer red on the cheeks. That's something I've talked about in a few videos. I just think it's so flirty and feminine. These are definitely not as long wear as I would love for them to be, but I didn't find any shades in the e.l.f. liquid blush formula that worked well for me. So if you are looking for a really long wear cream blush from the drugstore, check out their new liquid version, and hopefully you'll be able to find a shade that works well for you. But they all were just pulling so warm that I feel like none of them were really flattering for my skin tone. So hopefully they come out with more shades of that, but until then, this will be my fave. My favorite powder blush is from Flower Beauty. It is the Flower Pots powder blush, and I have had the shade Sweet Pea for like over a year at this point. It is this really pretty, I would say like slightly cool toned pink, but I literally just got this other shade in PR today. I was like, perfect timing. And it's called Spiced Petal, and it's a warmer, kind of like cinnamon toned rose blush, which has been an obsession of mine, especially in the fall and winter. I was dying for shades like this. I just think there's something that's so flattering about them. So that's what I put on today, and I'm loving it. This is such a nice powder blush. They do say that it has a soft satin finish, like satin matte, I would say, but I definitely don't get a satiny, sheeny finish from it. It's something I would consider to be matte, but it's not a super powdery dry matte. It looks nice on the cheeks, and I think that, yeah, the shades that I have are really beautiful. My favorite highlighter is an oldie. It's kind of giving vintage. This is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter, but okay, I dropped it. I have yet to find another drugstore highlight that is as beautiful as this one. Will you open? This is just gorgeous. It's soft, it's diffused, it's not an in-your-face, intense, beaming highlight, but it is buildable. So if you want it to be something that is a little bit more than like super sheer and subtle, you can do that with this. You can do both. So I know that this is not new news by any means, but it's just unbeatable. It still is. Let's move on to lip products. My current favorite lip stain from the drugstore is the Milani Color Fetish Hydrating Lip Stain. I love the texture of this. It's like a plush gel cream. It feels really comfortable. It has a really beautiful shiny finish. Those things do of course go away if you want to wipe it off and just be left with the stain. But I love that you have the option to not blot it and be left with a really nice shiny finish and comfy feel. The shade that I have is Bitten Berry, which is definitely very pretty, but I want some lighter shades that are a bit more wearable every day for me. I keep forgetting to buy more because I have been working on my lip stain showdown behind the scenes, and I'm like, the last thing I need is more shades of a lip stain. I need to like really narrow down my exact favorites, and then I can buy a few more shades in those. But until then, no. I'm not allowed. I'm cutting myself off. But if you need a lip stain right this second, you don't have time to wait for that showdown video, and you want it to be from the drugstore, go for Milani. My favorite lip gloss is by far the Naturium Phytoglow Lip Balm. Can you tell? I love every single thing about this product. It is thick, it's cushy, it feels just like thick and cushy on my lips. It's ultra glossy, the shades are beautiful. You just get such a nice sheer to light wash of color, and it's everything I could ever want in a lip product. So if you would like to see all of these shades swatched on my lips so that you can pick what's going to work best for you, I'm going to link a video below where I do that. I believe it is my top lip favorites in every category video. Okay, what they say also great is an overnight lip mask. Yeah, no. You're not gonna catch me putting color on my lips at night. That would be all over my pillow. But for daytime, it does not get better than this. Oh my God, I cannot believe these are 10 bucks. They're so good. My favorite eyeliner is the Flower Beauty Forever Wear Eyeliner Crayon in the shade Moonstone. I really love wearing this on my waterline because it's like a creamy natural beige. I feel that white eyeliners just look way too intense on my waterline. They're really stark and harsh, but this, because it's not as like, I don't know, bright as a white, is more subtle and gives you that brightening effect, but in a bit more of a wearable way, at least for me. And my favorite mascara, of course, is Maybelline Lash Sensational. Where is it? Come to mama. I have 2 in my empties drawer right now. I, of course, rebought it. I will literally never be without this, but I can't find the package of the new one I just bought, so you can look at my 2 empties. There is just nothing like this. I'm not gonna give you guys a whole spiel on this for the 700th time, but if you are new to my channel and you're looking for the best mascara you have ever tried, look no further. Maybelline Lash Sensational. She's sensational. All right, let's wrap this video up with the final category, which is hair care. I'm just now realizing I didn't include body care in this video. We're gonna save that for another time because this video is already too long. My favorite pre-shampoo oil is, of course, none other than the OGX Extra Strength Damage Remedy Plus Miracle Coconut Oil Penetrating Oil, a product with 12 names. This contains coconut oil and silicones, which is why I love to use it for pre-shampoo purposes. It's protective. It's something that's going to help to protect my hair from all of the things that can cause damage on wash day. It also always makes my hair soft, silky, and shiny when I use it on wash day. I know so many of you are obsessed with this as well. For those of you that find that this is too thick and heavy for you, there are 2 other versions of this. They have a serum and a mist. Should I go grab them? So we have the Nourishing Coconut Milk Anti-Breakage Serum and the Nourishing Coconut Oil Weightless Hydrating Oil Mist. Both of these also contain coconut oil and silicones. So again, if this is too much for you, this would be like the next thickest, this is the thinnest. My favorite clarifying shampoo is without a doubt Pantene Volume and Body. This is my current favorite clarifying shampoo at any price point when I need the best clarifying cleanse ever. What I love about this is that it contains both sodium lauryl and sodium laureth sulfate, so I know I am getting a deep, effective cleanse, which is exactly what I want when I'm clarifying my hair. Gets rid of all oil, all buildup. My hair feels so perfectly refreshed after I use this. It is insane. This is one of those products that people were so skeptical about when I first started recommending it, but then once people started using it, they were like, oh my God, it's like the only thing I can ever use for clarifying ever again. Or for some of you, this is just your new go-to daily shampoo, and I love that for you. We love an effective shampoo. My favorite non-clarifying shampoo is Dove Intensive Repair. The cleansing agents are a mix of a sulfate and gentle cleansers, and this also has ingredients that are incredible for hair damage, including sodium gluconate, citric acid, and coconut oil. This is the only damage repair shampoo at the drugstore that gives me an effective enough cleanse to use it without needing to use a clarifying shampoo in addition to it. It makes my hair feel incredible, perfectly cleansed but soft and smooth every single time, and it smells so good like coconuts. I love it. Yes. My favorite conditioner is the L'Oreal Everpure Bond Repair Conditioner. This contains B-ceteryl, amodimethicone, citric acid, and regular amodimethicone, so it has incredible ingredients for damage. I just love, love, love this. I've loved it for the longest time. It's thick, it's creamy, it's deeply conditioning, and it's one of those products that makes me notice my hair after I use it. Does that make sense? Like, I finished drying my hair, I finished the whole process, and I'm like, wow, my hair feels so good. And that definitely does not happen to me with everything that I try. So I love this. I know I recommended this so many times, but that's exactly why it has to be in first place. Okay, I was really struggling to think of a mask that I wanted to include in this video because there are not that many hair masks but what? There are not that many hair masks at the drugstore, and for those that do exist, I just didn't feel like any of them were worthy of being in this video. There are definitely affordable products that I love using as hair masks, like Eliza Vecca, but that's not technically drugstore, and Pantene has a new Miracle Rescue line that has a conditioner that I've been enjoying using as a mask, but that's a conditioner. They do actually have a mask version of that, but I just picked it up from Target yesterday. I haven't had a chance to use it yet, so I obviously can't tell you that this is my #1 favorite, but maybe worth testing out knowing that I do love the conditioner version of this, and this is just Ticker. I'll keep you wow, that smells good. I'll keep you posted on this, of course. So I didn't really have anything to share for this category, and I still technically don't, because it's not fair for me to say this is my #1 favorite, but I have a strong feeling it is going to become that. This is the new Dove 10-in-1 Bond Strength Serum Mask, and to be perfectly clear, I have only used this one time, and that was yesterday. So I obviously cannot speak to repeated use of this product, which is a requirement for me when I'm reviewing something thoroughly, but I gotta be honest, I was so blown away when I tested out this set. I tested out all the products. So they have a shampoo, a conditioner, a mask. They actually have a serum that's sitting on my desk right now. I haven't tried that yet, but I tried these all out for the first time last night, and I texted my mom and sister right after, and I was like, I don't think I have ever tried a set of products that has made my hair feel that silky while I'm still in the shower. Like, there are so many products that make my hair feel incredible once the styling process is done, but like, when my hair's wet and in the shower, it's still like, it's not feeling as soft and silky as it's going to when I'm done with the entire process. Something about these, I am not kidding, I was like, what is going on? Like, it just, I can't explain it. It turns my hair into liquid silk. And like, so much so that I'm like, are you gonna end up being my new favorite over L'Oreal? And you guys know how seriously I take my favorites. So I just wanted to give this a shout out, and of course let you know again, I have only used this one time, and I'm gonna keep using it several more times. I will give you my updated thoughts in a future video, but like, whoa. And I will say, for the most part, when it comes to hair care products, my first experience using it and my first impression typically ends up being my long-term impression of it and review of it as well. But I like to make extra sure, because there's always times where there's like a fluke, or maybe something I had on my hair before is interfering with the way that it performs. But I say that to say I have a pretty good feeling about this. I have a good hunch. Oh, I'm so excited. Dove. Oh wait, I didn't even show you what this looks like in case you're curious. Do you guys want like a full dedicated review on this? I don't do that on YouTube unless it's like, I don't know, a really hyped up viral or like super exciting launch. But if you're interested, let me know. My favorite bond repair treatment is the L'Oreal Everpure Bond Strengthening Concentrate. This has a 14% bonding care complex with citric acid. So I don't know exactly how much citric acid is in this, but I personally feel that this is a really great dupe for the Redken bond repair treatment. I obviously don't know the exact amounts of ingredients used in each product, but I think that the texture of them feels nearly identical. They're in the exact same packaging. If you didn't know, Redken is owned by L'Oreal. So it's like they didn't even try to hide it from us. This is really great. And this could definitely just be used as a hair mask as well. I do that with this. I do that with a Redken treatment because they have that thick, creamy conditioning formula, and they deeply conditioned, so works great as like a 2-in-1 product. Moving on to leave-in products, my favorite leave-in conditioner is from L'Oreal Everpure. It used to be called their 21-in-1 color carrying spray, but they have actually recently renamed it. Now it's called the Moisture 21-in-1 spray, but it's the same exact product, same ingredients, just different packaging and name. It contains coconut oil and amodimethicone, and while I don't feel it's the exact same as Pureology Color Fanatic, those are also the top ingredient highlights in that product, and I think it's a really good affordable alternative. My favorite leave-in oil is the OGX Argan Oil of Morocco Weightless Dry Oil Mist. I think that this is great for leave-in purposes because of how lightweight it is. So if you already have, which you probably do, quite a bit of product on your hair from your previous wash or previous styling, this is something that's lightweight enough to not weigh down your hair heavily, unless of course you use too much. I also use the regular penetrating oil a lot. I think both of them are great. Again, similar to the coconut oil situation, same kinds of ingredients, but OGX oils in general are just so good. They add that nice slip, they add the shine, they make your hair softer and silkier, they protect, they condition. They're just great, they're affordable, and I'm sick of the bad rap they've gotten. Enough's enough. Knock it off. My favorite dry shampoo is the Dove Advanced Dry Shampoo for volume and fullness. I love the volume this adds to my hair. It does the perfect job at absorbing oil, and it's not something that feels too heavy or gritty in my hair at all. And last but not least, I wanted to recommend my favorite brush from the drugstore because I feel like this is something I've been getting questions on a lot. It is definitely the Wet Brush Pro. I have tried so many different brushes from the drugstore. This is hands down my favorite. It has a combination of nylon pins with rounded ends and boar bristles. And I just find that this combination of bristles on a brush and the spacing here is best for hair that is really damaged. And even if you don't have really damaged hair, I still think it's a good idea to use a brush that is ideal for damage because it's just gonna protect your hair and prevent breakage. Oh my goodness, that was a hefty video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I know a lot of you have wanted to see this for a while, so I thought it was about time for me to pull it together. There was a lot we covered in this video, but like I was saying in the beginning, there are so many products I love. So if you would like to see category-specific videos where I share not just my #1 favorite, but all of my favorites in a given category, let me know. I can definitely do that. Those would be really fun videos for me to film as well, and I really enjoy videos like that because I feel like it gives me the ability to give you guys options and be like, hey, you know, this is my favorite for this reason, but if you have dry skin or a dry scalp, I think you'll prefer these. You know, stuff like that. So let me know. Otherwise, if you did enjoy this video and would like to see more like this from me, please don't forget to give this a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend. Thank you so much for your support in doing those things. It truly means the world. I appreciate the heck out of you guys. Thank you for watching my videos. I love the freaking heck out of you. Make sure to stay tuned for my next one because that will be up in a few days. But until then, I hope you have a great few days.